The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Sicilian Corner, winner of the Italian Heritage Media Award, with your hosts, Tom Zappola and Mike Glamazzo.
You know, Mikey, not for nothing, but I'm hurt, I'm chagrined, and I'm very sad.
You know something? Then I feel good because I succeeded.
I put a tremendous amount of effort.
Tommy, you haven't put a tremendous amount of effort into anything that you've ever done.
I put a tremendous amount of effort into those Butcher Boy live reads. I spent 3.5 hours on the first one.
Do you believe
Copy
that?
and paste.
And you took it.
What was it? Copy and paste?
You tossed it aside like it was nothing, just like a little piece of dust on your shoulder.
Pretty much. How are you, T?
What's going on, brother?
Listen, you're getting ready to come home.
I have Beauty and the Beast on the on camera here.
True.
The lovely Eszter Vajda from Sicily, who how do we describe her relationship with my brother? Unfortunate? Is that a good word?
The odd couple.
Odd couple, unfortunate.
Listen, I'm so fortunate.
Oh, listen.
So fortunate.
Protecting her man, Tom.
Thanks to you guys for introducing me, may I add, in 2013. You guys invited me into the show. We hosted it together.
Yeah.
Right, I remember that.
Tommy was out, and the first guest was Alfred Zappola.
Wait, Mikey,
That's right.
Just think about this. If she ever dumps him, then she's going to come back and she's going to blame us for introducing them. Right?
Yeah,
That's
probably.
perfect.
You know,
I blame you for everything anyway.
I was just reminiscing with Esther, and at the feast when she did the interview with us, was on a Saturday.
I remember that. I do remember
that. That was a freaking hoot.
That
was fun.
That was
fun.
before Sicily even came into my life.
I was going to say, Esther, that was probably 10 years ago.
That was exactly 10 years ago. We did that interview with the professor. What was his name?
Oh, yeah.
Padova. And it
Frankie
was my
Padova.
introduction to the Feast of St. Alfio and Lawrence.
His
and
name.
fast forward 2 years later, more than 2 years, 2 years later, and there I am at the feast, at the actual feast in Tre Castagni.
In Italy.
And it was like, wow, this is what the real feast looked like.
First of all, Dr. Padova's name is not...
Frankie Padova.
It's Richard Yohasas.
It's Richard. It's Richard. That's
Jesus.
right.
You see what I mean? He doesn't pay attention.
So
all right?
listen,
He
so if
doesn't
people
pay
want
attention.
to watch this video, they're on our YouTube channel, You, Me, and Sicily. So that was one of our first videos that we did.
Are they numbered?
no,
Are
huh?
they numbered? Or what's it? Is there a subtitle or a title to it? Or
The Feast of St. Alfio and Tre Castagni.
okay.
Yeah, if they
All right.
do a search.
No, I
of
meant
You,
the
Me, and
interview. If
Sicily.
people wanted
the
to-
interview that we did
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
that was on my channel, Eszter Vajda. I'll share a link in the
I remember
comment
that.
section.
Hey, Esther, first of all, welcome. You're in the United States for a couple more weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
A couple of 3 more weeks, and a nice reprieve for my brother. So I'm sure you're on vacation. How was your plane flight, by the way?
Oh my God, quite an adventure, actually.
What
What happened?
airlines?
So Turkish Airlines. Because
Turkish.
first of all, it's the cheapest and it's the most direct. I was having a really hard time finding
Turkish Airlines is the most direct?
Well,
What
right
took-
now.
What
so
took
wait,
the place
so
of Alitalia?
Ita.
I'm
Al,
sorry?
Ita.
will you let him
Ita.
finish the show? The
Right. So
story,
let me
please?
just tell Ita. So
What the hell is wrong with you?
What's wrong with me?
Go ahead, Esther.
Yes, I'm sorry. You're so rudely interrupted
So,
by the mouth.
So what happened was, so I go from Catania to Istanbul to Boston. And it was snowing in Istanbul, so my flight was 2.5 hours late. So by the time I got to Turkey, usually I give myself 2 to 2.5 hour layover time.
Where's
By
the
the
airport?
time
Where is
Istanbul,
the airport?
it's in Istanbul. So by the time I got to Turkey, my flight had already gone to Boston. So I met this little girl, 18-year-old from Noto in Sicily. And she turns to me. I don't speak any English because they don't speak any Italian. I don't speak any English. I said, come with me. I'll help you out. So we went to the Turkish Airlines counter, changed our flights. I changed her flight because she was
that was
going
nice
to
of you.
Miami. Yeah, because she didn't speak any English. So they spoke English.
If that was Tommy, he would have charged her at least $25.
So then they said, okay, we'll put you up at a hotel and go there. So we had to go to another counter to book the hotel. So
Seriously?
So in Istanbul airport is ginormous. So we're walking probably a mile, 2 miles inside the airport. And I couldn't enter Istanbul because I'm an American, so I needed a visa. So I had to go to the counter to find where they were giving
I like the way
visas
this is
out.
going.
Now, wait a second. So to get a visa in Istanbul, you can't use a credit card. You have to use cash. So thankfully, I had 30 euro in cash to pay for my visa. So I got the stamp. Okay, let's go. Now we can exit the airport into Istanbul. Then we had to wait for a car to take us. And this whole
How
time...
many hours have you been up now?
Exactly. I got up at 4:30 in the morning. It's now 3:45 in the afternoon. So to make a long story short, we get to the hotel. It's a nice little hotel. This girl is with me the whole time. I'm speaking Italian with her the whole time. I'm talking to my mom in Hungarian. I'm talking to Alfred in English. So by this time, 15 hours later, my brain is going woo, woo. Anyway, we get to the hotel, very nice hotel. They give us dinner and everything. I interviewed Marika. She's 18-year-old. She wants to be a cook. Why? Because her grandmother... She grew up cooking with her grandmother, and it's still one of her favorite things to do. So we talk a little bit about food. I'm recording this whole thing, of course. So the next day, we're getting ready to take the bus or the car to the airport because we got our flight changed. And I'm sitting there having a cup of tea, getting ready to go. And these two women come to our table because it was a pretty big table. Said, can we sit here? And I'm listening to them talk, and I'm saying, I know this language. I said, where are you guys from? Ukraine. Refugees from the Ukraine.
Oh,
the
wow.
hotel is hosting 200 women and 100 children. So
Oh,
of course
wow.
I take out my camera and interview them.
Of course. You can't get it out of your system.
I can't just have a cup of tea and have a conversation. I said, I got to record this. So, of course, we did a whole episode on Yumi in Sicily, 24 hours in Istanbul, Ukrainian refugees and new friend from Sicily. And, of course, they're recounting their stories about having to leave everything behind. One of the women had to leave her husband and son behind because if you're over 18, you can't leave the country. The other woman's parents, they refused to leave Kyiv because they refused, that's their homeland.
Yeah.
And they were so upset, and they just said, they were showing me pictures. Yeah. Look at the bombs. Look, this is where we stayed. They stayed for 10 days underground in the metro, showing me her daughter, her little kids on the floor of the metro before they got to get out. So it was a pretty incredible adventure. And here's the way I look at it. I could have looked at it as, I lose a day in Boston. Oh, I have to spend this 24 hours in this foreign land, blah, blah, blah. But it was an incredible opportunity. I believe God uses you as a venue.
No question.
As a vehicle. And for me to be able to tell these stories of these women and to meet Marika, it was a blessing. But it was an adventure. It was an adventure.
What is? I've never been to Istanbul. I'm sure you have, Esther. Is it a beautiful city?
It's a beautiful city.
What's the climate there? I'm saying the political climate. Towards Americans.
Towards American, very
stable.
They're stable.
Yeah, you got a big Air Force base there, Tom. United States Air Force base there.
Yeah, and everywhere support their support. I mean, this hotel. Putting up 300 people free of charge to them. Yeah. So, the food was great. Baklava is something. Baklava.
If you got a cavity, you're going to find it.
I got to tell you, Marika was just so out of it. All she wanted was pasta and sauce. Well, the way they made the pasta and sauce, she said it was terrible. Then I said, well, why don't you try this sweet? She tried the baklava. She's like, oh, it's too sweet.
Baklava is actually
too
very
sweet.
good.
Well, the honey and
So,
everything
but
else.
to watch this little 18-year-old girl, a stranger in a strange land, she doesn't
Who
speak
can
the
barely
language.
understand you.
Huh?
Who could barely understand you.
I speak Italian.
Yeah,
so
I know.
So
She could follow you.
Yeah. So, but to be in this land, and she was alone, heading to her dad's, who's in Miami. So it was interesting watching her try all these new foods. She said, "Oh, this language is so strange. The people look so strange." So it was her first time out of Europe. Imagine that. Her first
Esther,
time out of Europe.
was it another 8 hours to the United States from Turkey?
It was 10 and a half hours.
Wow.
But Turkish Airlines, people ask me, how was your experience? I highly recommend them. First of all, my luggage arrived the next day.
Get out.
That's huge. That's huge.
Can
Great meals on the flight. The flight attendants were great. Everything was on time. It was great.
Tommy, I have a story. Talking about luggage. We land in Paris, and we have 3 suitcases. Get there early, check in. I had sent a confirmation because back then we didn't have the cell phones. So I'm all set. I don't think there's a problem. I had called somebody to pick us up at the airport, gave them the time, this, that, and the other thing. And all of a sudden, I go up to the desk, and she says, well, you're on standby. Never did I know that we were on standby. Not only me, but 7 other people. And they kept on referring to us, David, as my party. I don't even know these people. And it was the craziest thing because the luggage had already put on the plane.
Oh, no. So did
the
you make
plane
the flight?
is full. Now the plane is full. So I got 3 suitcases on the plane. The guy says, well, we can get you out. You're going to be 1 hour delay. I can live with that. I can live with that. So they try to get the luggage. They found 2 of them. One of them took off with the plane that left. So now I go to the new terminal. And again, they tell me I'm on me and my party. What Gisatu party? I don't even know these freaking people from Adam. So I turn around and I says, first of all, I don't even know who these people are. There's this kid from Germany carrying a cake that he's bringing to his sister in Foxborough. And he's carrying it like it's gold because his mother baked it. It was for his sister's birthday. Anyway, long story short, again, our luggage gets put on the plane. The plane takes off, and Mike is still in the airport. Now I have no luck. I'm pissed. I am royally ticked off big time, and I'm causing a commotion. It's the one that I didn't get arrested. Finally, somebody come over, sat down with us, says, look, this is our problem. And we're going to reimburse you your plane ticket, which I thought was pretty classy. That calmed me down a wee bit. In the meantime, I want you to have dinner here. You relax with us. We have an El Al Airlines coming in, and they're going from here, they're going to Boston. And we're going to put you on that. So it calmed me down. I never saw an airlines that had more security in my life than El Al. What an airline. The only thing is, I'm watching a movie, and it's all in Hebrew. I'm sitting there. I don't know what the hell is going on. I wanted
So
to.
did your luggage make it? With you?
My point is, here we are. We're still in Paris. Luggage is gone. Mike is still there. I got nothing.
Yeah.
And when I landed in Boston, they had all 3 suitcases waiting for us.
Perfect.
But that El Al, they started to fly out of Boston
Istanbul
again.
too. The security we had to go through security 3 or 4 times.
Tommy, that was a crazy situation.
We are chatting with Eszter, but Mike is doing most of the chatting, but we're chatting with Eszter today.
Look who's calling a stone hard.
Mikey, if you're going to chat, why don't you chat about our friends at Butcher Boy?
Well, you know something? I've got something even better. I'm going to throw my voice, okay? Mm-hmm. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go.
Tommy, let's talk about the amazing wine selection at Butcher Boy. With over 1,000 varieties of wine and a variety of craft beers, Butcher Boy has it all.
They do.
Choosing the best wine to go with the right cut of beef can really enhance your entire meal.
Isn't that the truth, huh?
One of the reasons that red wine pairs easily with steak is because the tannins. Yeah, he spelt it wrong, by the way. No, he doesn't even know what the hell a tannin is. It could hit him in the head, he wouldn't know. And red wine helps enhance the beef flavor. That's so true. You know that? White wines, on the other hand, can also add a wonderful flavor to a steak. Since they are chilled, they provide a great contrast to a sizzling steak. You're a wine drinker, right?
I am.
Tommy is not. I am.
I am not.
Choose one of the
red wine,
wonderful
red wine.
craft beers to top off your meat cut. That's Butcher Boy, everyone. Located at the Butcher Boy Plaza in North Andover. Check it out.
Did
And
I really
gotta tell
spell
you,
it Tannis?
yeah, you
T-A-N-N-I-S?
did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I gotta tell you, Butcher Boy is
Sorry.
pretty good.
I just looked it up, by the way, when you were reading, and you were
How's
right.
that?
Damn it.
Hey, very good. Very good.
nice.
Tommy
Hey, Esther,
Amin now is listening, and he'll be smiling like crazy.
Esther, we want to know about. Let's get into some of the specifics. I know, although we've wasted a little time because of Mike, but that's okay. Tell us about the political situation in Sicily with this whole Ukraine thing that's going on.
Well, it's very interesting. You know, Italy, of course, with part of NATO, supports Ukraine. Italy has taken in about 75,000
Really?
refugees.
Wow.
Some of them are starting to trickle down to Sicily. And in fact, some of the charities that we have helped in the past through our nonprofit, the Sicilian Project, we've helped them because they're getting ready to house some refugees. But also, several buses and trucks have gone with goods like food supplies, medicines,
So the
hygiene.
Italian government
No, those are churches, thanks to private donations. Okay, so a lot of that. Of course, the government is working as well, but a lot, in tough times, the churches really step up to the plate, and they've helped immensely. One church specifically that we work with has sent 2 buses full of stuff, for kids, for hygiene, toilet, simple things that they need there. And the plan is to come back with some refugees. So that's going on this week. It's a big operation. Obviously, it's, about 10 million refugees in every country. Poland taking in the most, of course, all those surrounding countries, even Hungary taking in the refugees.
I have a very close friend of mine, and he decided that he wanted to try and help out in Ukraine. And he's a businessman, and decided he wanted to try and raise $50,000 through friends of his. And we closed it off 3 days ago at $65,000.
That's awesome.
That's great, Mike.
That's
Good
awesome.
job.
That is
Good job.
awesome.
That's to me, that's a make you feel good moment.
Yeah,
That's
great. Every little bean.
When he says that's great, you know what that means?
What?
Stop talking.
Listen.
No, I think that's good, Mike. It's $65,000.
Listen,
You guys did really well.
You're not used to taking compliments. That's the problem.
No, I think that's really
Not from him.
I think he really
No,
means
no,
it.
not to
it
him.
is
No,
That was
no.
good.
He's callous.
Okay, let's take a break. Esther's in the house. We're going to take a break. We come back, Esther. I want to talk about the gas prices in Sicily. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Looking for that something special? All of us here at the Sicilian Corner suggest trying Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. For the most exquisite dining experience in an intimate setting that serves authentic regional Italian cuisine and features old country service. Try Ristorante Uno. Did we mention their award-winning wine cellar? Ristorante Uno, 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. Call 617-573-9406 for reservations. That's 617-573-9406. Tell them the boys from the Sicilian Corner sent you.
Today, Lawrence General Hospital has affiliations with leading Boston academic medical centers. Top specialists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center work with our local doctors to bring world-class care close to home. Today, amazing partnerships are happening at Lawrence General Hospital. To learn more, visit lawrencegeneral.org/today.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine is pleased to announce the opening of their American College of Radiology accredited MRI unit at their location at 16 Pelham Road in Salem, New Hampshire. So now, in addition to receiving the best orthopedic care in the Merrimack Valley, as well as physical and occupational therapy at Optima Sports Therapy and Rehab, you can also have your MRI, all in one convenient location. The doctors and staff of Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine have been dedicated to providing outstanding medical care to the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire since 1984. Located on Route 97, just off Exit 2 from Route 93 North, on the second floor of the Workout Club of Salem. You deserve the best care, and that's exactly what you'll get from the board-certified surgeons at Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine. Please call 603-898-2244 to schedule an appointment.
A loyal sponsor for the Sicilian Corner is Hilton Oil Company. Hilton Oil has been located right across from the South Lawrence Common since 1932 at 101 South Union Street. Hilton Oil Company specializes in 24-hour burner service, oil deliveries, including automatic deliveries serving all the Merrimack Valley area, plus portions of southern New Hampshire. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Hilton's state-of-the-art service station. Remember, Hilton's is also a Mass State Inspection Station. Hilton Oil Company, 101 South Union Street in Lawrence. Call 978-687-9793.
This is Cindy
and Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back, and Eszter Vajda is in the house. Eszter, gas prices in Sicily. Can you tell us about what's going on there?
It's good that you gave me a heads up because I just sent Alfred a little.
There you go.
It's good you gave me a heads up because I just sent Alfred a note because I haven't been home in a week. It was €3 a liter when I left. It's now down to $2.75 a liter.
Okay, but hold on. €3 is comparable to what in American dollars?
$3.30 around there.
So that's not bad.
Yeah, $3.30. But I got to tell you, it's not, first of all, the government is trying to help a little bit, so it's going up and down. But the other big news is that electricity is up. The cost of foods are up everywhere. And that is outrageous, as I saw here.
Have you done shopping?
Oh, my God.
I feel bad. I mean, if you have 3 or 4 children.
I was just going to say,
I don't know how to help people
live? How can people live? The other issue happening in Sicily that a lot of the truck haulers have been protesting. So that puts an incredible the high prices.
Oh, okay.
The high prices of fuel, and they're not, they have to pay for it, but they're not getting compensated, etc. So that has caused a little bit of a disruption in some distributions. Now it's, the government is trying to say, you can't protest, you got to deliver the food. And a couple of weeks ago, we went to the supermarket and there were some shortages of things. And I said to the guy, what's going on? He said, the weekend before, people went a little nuts. They went and bought a lot of stuff because they would, so that type of behavior is worldwide.
We had the same situation here.
I know.
You'd walk into Market Basket or Shaw's, and Tommy, we'd have shelves completely empty.
It's
no
nuts.
macaroni, no nothing. I mean, it's
not-
weird to see.
Yeah, and you know what they've been buying a lot of sunflower oil. Obviously, because
sunflower oil.
Yeah, because Ukraine is one of the largest, if not the largest, producer of sunflower oil, and that is used a lot in making the arancini, sunflower oil.
Really?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
I didn't know that either.
Eszter, tell us, everybody knows that you and Al have me in Sicily. You have a very successful little travel agency that you guys do, but you have a really unique professional background in this business. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and
that's good, Tom.
Your professional background?
Yeah.
Well, I've been a journalist.
Absolutely.
I was
Where'd you
in
go to school?
TV. Well, I went to UMass Amherst for undergrad, Northeastern for graduate school. But while I was in graduate school, I did an internship with Liz Walker and Joe Bergantino.
Liz Walker, what a class act.
WBZ. And I'm still friends with a lot of these people. Dan Ray,
Sure,
Dan Ray.
absolutely.
I've been on Dan Ray's radio show several times on WBZ.
Yeah.
He has Nightside with Dan Ray.
Yeah.
Correct.
So while I was in Sicily, I was on his show, and I've kept in touch with a lot of those guys. And then I worked at ABC affiliates, PBS affiliates, as an anchor, as a, everyday reporter. And then my last TV gig was as a political correspondent at a PBS affiliate.
A political.
Political correspondent. I had a political show, a 30-minute political weekly show. I covered the State House, the governors, the Senate.
And
the
now
House.
you're with Mikey.
And then I'm with Mikey. But you know what? I got to tell you, out of all the jobs, all the places that I've worked at, the most fulfilling, hands down, is the work that I do with Me in Sicily. Because
interesting.
First, it's very, hands down, the amount of people that write to us, message us, leave us comments on our YouTube, how much they're enjoying the journey with us. Obviously, we go all over the place. We feature towns. We feature the history, the culture, a bunch of cooking ones. And since COVID, we started this sort of live. Right now we're going actual live since I'm here, and we'll talk about the internet in just a second. So we go Wednesdays at noon, Eastern Standard Time, and also on Sunday, 10 a.m. And Alfred and I just go on and talk about everyday life, talk about the climate. And during COVID, people really appreciated that kind of connection.
That was,
Sicily.
you guys did a great job.
That was a bridge. It was a bridge. That's what it
really was.
What
You
is
guys
your
did a fabulous
favorite?
job.
What is your favorite place? You concentrate mostly in Sicily. You guys don't go much to the mainland. But what's your favorite? What is Eszter's number one spot in Sicily?
You can't ask me that.
I can't?
That's like asking me out of 100 children which one is my favorite.
There isn't one that really gets at you?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
First of all, I go back to places, everyone knows about Taormina, about Ortigia, Siracusa, I go back to these places multiple times because of our tours. Those are our regular places that we go to. Palermo, when we go on the other side, Castellana. And without fail, I always have the,
Okay. All right.
So you return to all these places time and time again. The weather, depending on the season, depending on the time of the day, it just continues to be wow. And there are still places, new places that I'm visiting for the first time or getting to know better, spending a little bit more time or finding new things. Sicily is really, I've said this many times, endless trove of treasures, really, really is. So I like the fact that I get to explore and be the eyes, the ears, and perhaps even the taste of people, because we do taste a lot of foods and talk about it. And it's really, really an honor. People tune in and watch with us. They watch live with us, and they watch us on the replay. And then the pre-edited. So let me just talk about the internet, which is terrible in Sicily. Yeah. I do a test before we go on live, one of those speed tests. And in Sicily, the meter goes to like 20 maybe for a live stream. It's crazy. I'm back here in Boston. I do the speed test. It's like 300, and it still wants to improve. So that's been incredible. So what we did was we pivoted a little bit, and what we did is a magazine-style show. So Alfred and I will go on. We'll intro the next section, and then we'll put a little bit of bits. So for instance, we interviewed Roberto. Al. Tom, you know Roberto, old-time friend.
Nice guy. Yep.
Sicilia's. And we went up there on Women's Day, and we interviewed him and talked a little bit about the role of women.
What's Women's Day?
Women's Day, March 8th is Women's Day, International Women's Day.
Okay.
All over the world, International Women's Day.
Did you know that? Did you?
Dave's going. So in any case, so we went up there, we interviewed him, and then we showed our drive from our place in Agicatena to Giardini Naxos. Yeah. So we took him on a little bit of a ride there. Then we tried some foods, and so we do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and so that's on our Yumi and Sicily YouTube channel.
You talked about
you used to have a cameraman. Do you not use the cameraman anymore, Eszter?
No, only in very, very special occasions. No, I have 3 cameras, and we use them together.
You talked about the internet being all over the place.
Yeah.
But the basic, Tommy, you've been in Sicily a few times. The infrastructure itself is very poor, I think. They used to be the rolling electricity. They used to shut your electricity off for a couple of hours.
Well,
do they still do that or not?
No.
They don't.
During the summer, there's some blackouts that people are overusing.
Yeah, everybody's using the air conditioners.
Exactly. But the infrastructure, the roads do need little help. But I got to tell you, in the
Appian Way needs some work.
In the past few months, because of the European Union's super bonus, it's called, that Italy got, a lot of countries got super bonus EU money, and there's construction everywhere in Sicily.
That's good.
Everywhere. You go on the highway.
That's actually a good thing.
It's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. They better be done, and I know they won't for tourist season coming up in May, but
sections of the Appian Way are still usable.
What's that?
The Appian Way, the roads, are still usable. That's the kind of foundation that they built those roads on, Tommy.
Actually, that's a really good point. A lot of the old roads, even withstood earthquakes, anything. There are some very ancient roads, and it's incredible. And the roads that were built 20, 30 years ago are cracking everywhere.
Especially if you're in Massachusetts. Tommy, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to ask, Mike asked a question a little while ago about your favorite town or place. My question, though, is cuisine. Cuisine is distinctly different in Sicily from region to region, correct?
Well, you have the same types of foods, they just make them differently. It's like every town, every province, every area has a different recipe for caponata, a different fillings for arancini.
Different herbs. Herbs are important.
Herbs are very important, but different places
have used different herbs, yeah.
I have a thing. Alfred always tries crispelli or arancini. I like to try the mussels in different regions.
Good for you.
I love mussels. I love caponata. everywhere I go, I want to try the caponata.
And it is distinctly
it's
different.
very different. And we went to the province of Agrigento, near the actual city of Agrigento, the Valley of Temples.
Right.
Porto Empedocile is one of the major ports over there. And so we went out to dinner, and I, of course, ordered the caponata, and it was very interesting. They had capers in there. They didn't have olives. They didn't have pine nuts and raisins like in Catania. Their version
olives, capers.
It was just capers, eggplants. Sometimes they put celery and onions and stuff like that. Nothing.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting. And also the granita. You know, the season for granita is coming up, which you people call Italian ice. I don't know why. It's not Italian ice. It's a granita. The consistency is completely different. But the way they make it in different regions, over by us in Catania, it's much more creamier. Over in Syracuse, it's much more grainier. In Agrigento,
every province has its own little characteristic to food.
Yeah, and that makes it really fun. And of course, everyone says they have the best.
Naturally. But fish is predominantly the main.
Fish is predominant, of course, along the sea. But lamb is very popular.
Lamb is popular?
Lamb is in mountain towns, very popular.
Okay, yeah. Stands to reason.
Beef and some, you can get meat. You know, you can't get meat, but fish predominantly. You have to know what to order in different restaurants. You have to know what to order in different towns. For example, in a seaside town, I will not be ordering
a steak.
You just don't.
I get it. A lot of people, and Tommy and I have said this often, there's looking at your last name and knowing what you know about the Italian heritage. You know more about my history, Tommy's history, than most Italians. What created this love for Italy?
Well, Sicily specifically. You know what, Mike? I have a very natural curiosity. You know, those women, they sat down.
Hence you were a reporter.
Those women sat down, the Ukrainian women sat down, and I was like, tell me your story. I really wanted to know their story, you know. And for me, Sicily is a perfect area where it fulfills my love of history, my love of culture, my love of tradition. You know, I'm Hungarian. Traditions, culture, those are very important things to me.
I'm sure.
Sicily is an outdoor museum. It fulfills my senses.
Outdoor museum.
An outdoor museum.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
At the spectrum of what Sicily offers, all my senses, all my curiosities, from sight to sound to smell to love of life, it's never ending. It's never ending.
Tommy?
No, I'm agreeing with you. Just listening, you're making it romantic. What about
now? If Alfred were to sit here, he'd also paint the other side. You know, it's not all
obviously.
As everywhere, there are problems,
Exactly.
and I have to tell you, as an expat living in Sicily, there are some things that were difficult. The bureaucracy is unbelievable. There are some things but you have to weigh it out like this.
Sure.
For me,
pluses and minuses.
For me, the benefits far outweigh the challenges. And I could look at the challenges as, I have to stand in line for 3 hours to get my health insurance. Yes. Or I can stand around and look at the people and chit chat with the people and find out enjoy and find out what the sense is, what are people talking about. I'd like to go and talk to people and find out where they're at, what the mentality is, what everyone, where they're at.
So we have about a minute and a half before the break. What is the attitude of the Sicilian people towards the United States? Sicily towards the United States. What are their thoughts?
Simple.
How do they look at us?
Very simple. You can it speaks a million words when you see McDonald's. Every kid wants to have an American this. They watch American movies, American. My gym. All they play is American music. You go to a restaurant, all they do is play American music. Oh, you're from America. Oh, I want to go with you. Put me in your luggage. You have no idea how many people, when I said, take me with you. Oh, it's been my dream. Oh, I have family. I have cousins. Oh, a lot of respect, a lot of love for Sicily.
And they love our clothes. They love the fashion.
They love the
fashion.
They
want the latest thing that's out.
Yeah, but that's wonderful. But that's true. That's true, Tommy, in every one of those. Same thing in Hungary. Same thing in Hungary.
It is interesting. Okay, we're chatting with Eszter Vajda from Yumi in Sicily, from Hungary, now in the United States, at least temporarily. We're going to take a quick break. We come back, Eszter. The $50,000 question. Pizza in Sicily. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and we can never agree. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri Seaside Italian Grill. Me, I love the elegant romantic vibe, Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that'll make it the place you want to visit every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of an even cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Music Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. And best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all of this fun is right at your fingertips. We can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out about all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella is honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler,
Owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts.
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back, and Eszter is in the house with us. Mikey or Eszter, what about our good friends at Butcher Boy?
You know something, Tommy? I would like to talk about my good friend Tommy Amin and the great staff at the Butcher Boy markets. Families, foodies, home chefs, they all come together at the Butcher Boy to talk about good food and to create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, and lamb. And they also have a great selection of poultry, marinated poultry. So it's one you go in, it's one-stop shopping. The place may not be 130,000 square feet, but you can find anything you want at the Butcher Boy. Produce, deli, they have it all. Antipastos, meals that are pre-cooked. You bring it home, put it in the oven, bing, bing, you're all
Don't
set.
they have something special for Easter?
What they do have, that a lot of people don't realize, the veal cutlets that you buy at the Butcher Boy, and not many places do this, they only buy, Tommy, the veal round, which if you want primo veal cutlets, the McCoy, have it cut from the veal round. It's like eating ice cream. You sit back, it's beautiful.
Did you like that setup?
I'm sorry?
Did you like that setup?
I do. Yeah.
He doesn't even know what the hell you're talking about. Please. Yeah,
Well,
he loved the setup.
I do. I'm very impressed with it. For the amount of square footage they have, it's just jam.
See?
And
What did I tell you?
You can find something for everybody.
What did I tell you? Not a freaking clue.
And Tommy,
All right.
that's the Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is
In the steak, Mikey boy. In the
Bravo.
steak.
Bravo.
Yeah,
And
it
where
could
is
have
it
been a little bit
located?
more emphatic.
Located in Butcher Boy in North Andover.
Hell of a
Butcher
setup.
Boy's
Boy
Plaza in North Andover.
So, Mike, you like the setup, do you?
I do. The setup is excellent.
Tommy, stop it.
I love setups, Tom.
Hey, you know what I wanted to say? One more thing you asked me. Mikey
You
asked
get it
me.
out of your system, guys.
Mikey
It's out.
asked
It's
me
out.
like this difficult question about my favorite place in Sicily. I have to say, and I talked a little bit about the touristy places, but really my favorite things to do is to go to some of these small remote towns where they still have cobblestone streets and you hearken back to a different life, a
I'm picturing
different
the Godfather.
century.
The Godfather
Even that one.
with the
even,
cobblestones. Oh.
even that little town, Savoca, Forza di Agro. Beautiful little town. So, you asked me that question and my mind's been going
Yeah, I mean, if
on
that's-
about it.
That, to me, that would be a cool tour of Sicily. Those little towns,
And
you
we
walk
do
into
that.
these little restaurants that have two tables and they cook for you, whatever. Esther, what about the pizza? I do want to get your opinion on the pizza.
Well, I do have
different
to.
regions, different flavors,
Well,
different tastes.
First, I have to make this disclaimer. Don't hate me, but I don't eat pizza. But I have the biggest pizza eater as a boyfriend. If Alfred could have any meal,
Pizza.
it would be pizza. So during
You can eat
COVID,
it for breakfast.
Oh, he
Eat
does.
it
He
cold.
does. He does eat it for breakfast.
It's a wonderful thing.
So during COVID, I learned how to make my own pizza using my Sicilian girlfriend's recipe. So I
Okay.
make my own pizza. I don't make my own dough, but I do my own pizza. And, for Lent, Alfred likes his anchovies on the pizza.
Tommy does, too.
I do, too.
So, but different regions, yeah. I mean, over by Catania, they have the thin pizza. Over in Palermo, they have the sfincioni, the little bit of a thicker, thicker
Right,
pizza. But it's interesting. There's a place called Reitana near us. They have 50 types of pizza. And I'm talking, they'll put pistachio on the pizza. They'll put almonds. They'll put all types of vegetables, artichoke pizza, buffalo pizza,
You name
pizza,
it.
you name it. You know something very interesting.
That's that.
We had a guest a few years ago, and he wasn't the only one, but it's done. A lot of people said he wanted the pizza with the pepperoni.
Sure.
Well, the pepperoni is peppers. Pepperoni.
that's
Pepperoni is peppers.
The hot
So,
pepper.
no, that's pepperoncino. Pepperoni. So his pizza came out with red peppers. He meant pepperoni like salami.
Yeah.
Don't make that mistake.
Absolutely good point. Esther,
It's a good point. It's right.
Is it a fallacy in the United States? So getting back to the pizza for a moment. Everybody across the country, there's regular thin pizza and what they call Sicilian pizza, which is thick pizza. Isn't most of the pizza in Sicily thin?
No, I just said in Palermo they have the thicker ones.
Okay,
There's
but
the
I'm saying-
but there's also the lunch pizza. The lunch pizza is, the thicker pizza. We go.
Napolitan pizza is thinner. Napolitano.
Napolitano. Yeah, but they have that as well.
Yeah.
By us,
They do.
all they have is the thin crust.
Okay.
Yeah. For lunch, they have the thicker crust.
What about, I remember being there, and I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of businesses, don't they shut down at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or so for a couple of hours, take their little rest, and then reopen and stay open later at night?
They still do it?
They still do that, of course.
How does that all work? What's that dynamic?
So for
Can
example,
you walk us through that?
Yeah, for example,
It's
a restaurant.
called a Nuna.
Nuda. So, for example, one of the restaurants, let's say in Acitra, there are some places that are open all day.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. But a lot of these places, if you want a pizza, a brick oven pizza, they won't turn that oven on till 8 o'clock. So forget about it. Till 8 o'clock. No way. In summer,
But
even
the Italians
later.
eat late in general.
Right. So if you want, so one of the other restaurants down in Acitrezza, which is our little village, he'll serve lunch. And, I'll call him and I'll say, what time can I come at like 2 o'clock? 2 o'clock is the latest because by 3 o'clock they want to be out of there, and then they'll open back up at 7:30. Of course.
And what time do they stay open until?
8 o'clock.
No,
they open at 8.
Open at 7:30, the earliest, and we're always first. Stay open till 1 o'clock in the morning.
So
later.
Again, it's against the logic, but it doesn't make sense. But it does make sense.
Of course, it makes sense in the
but I'm saying
summer.
the Mediterranean diet. People eat. I mean, I remember walking into restaurants at 9 o'clock at night, and people were there.
We're just getting there.
Yeah.
With their families, with kids and
of
having
course.
dinner, and they're eating at 9 o'clock at night. And we've always been taught in the United States that eating dinner like that at night is just not healthy.
Because it's
However,
agita, Tommy.
It's a cultural
well, Mike, no, but it's the
thing.
Mediterranean
No, to me,
diet.
I when I eat late at night, I have a hard time sleeping. I
So
really
point being, Esther, is it okay to do that if you're on the Mediterranean diet?
You mean you won't get agita?
Well, I mean, is it? People seem to be healthy there, and
People-
everybody's always touting
people
the
do it.
Mediterranean diet and how healthy it is.
Now, I don't know,
I'm assuming that people that eat there, that eat at night, or most of them are consuming the Mediterranean diet.
Listen, not everyone in Sicily consumes the Mediterranean diet
Right.
the way it's intended to be, right? There's an intention that you have the Mediterranean diet, which includes the fruits, the vegetables, a lot of fish, and so forth. Now, not everyone in Sicily consumes the Mediterranean diet, but I have to say that a lot of them do eat very healthy. Fruits and vegetables are abundant and a very regular part of the meal. You go to these fruits and vegetables. All my girlfriends are always using vegetables in the pasta, vegetables on everything and with everything. The eating late is really a cultural thing, and that is true in a lot of countries. For example, when we lived in Brazil, we lived there for 3 years. It was very usual for my cousins to have us over, and we wouldn't start eating till 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
But when you think about it, it's also really hot in the summer, majority of the year.
Oh, it cools off.
It cools off. You don't want to be eating when it's scorching hot, I mean,
And
it's
plus,
just not.
Italians do eat slower than Americans, correct?
It's a
it's
whole,
a leisurely. It's a
whole event.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
Mikey, you're making
everything.
a good point on that. You are. You're making a good point versus, the way we eat here. We've got about 4 minutes left. The other thing, Mike, and we've talked about this before, Esther, with Al and yourself. Portions, like for instance, it's not atypical for two people to make here in the United States, for two people to cook a pound of pasta.
No.
In Sicily,
250
in Italy,
grams.
I'm sorry?
250 grams.
So
Just short, small
that's
portions.
about a quarter. That's about a quarter of a pound, I would think, right? So I think that has a lot to do with it, Mike. People have. You go into any big restaurant, and some of our favorite restaurants, and they give you a bowl of pasta that's probably over 1,000, or pretty much close to a pound or 3/4 of a pound of pasta. That's the difference in Sicily. They're small portions, correct?
Yeah, and the other thing, Mike, Tom, we go to restaurants, and Alfred and I, we don't eat the antipasta, the primo, the second. We never do. We either
You
get
don't?
no.
That's
we
the favorite part of my meal.
What, the
You give me
antipasto?
oh yeah.
I'll have an antipasto for my meal.
I'll
have an
I see.
antipasto
I see where
I'll
you're
have
going.
mussels in red sauce as my
You're
meal.
a muscle girl.
I'm a muscle girl. So, you get the antipasto and you get all types of little fish, raw or all types of little things. Then you get a small pasta. Then you get a main fish. But they're not eating it all, right? They're not.
That makes sense.
They're not stuffing themselves.
Right.
They're eating in small little portions, and really important is grazing. They'll sit
that's
there
what we don't do here.
3 hours. It's not unusual for families to go out, and of course, families. It's not everyone can afford to do it. So when a family goes out for a special occasion, it's a special occasion.
They want it to last.
They want it to last. Exactly.
We have about 1 minute left, Esther. Why don't you tell our audience about your website, how they can tune you guys in?
Well, first of all, can I just say a big
have 1
thank
minute.
you to both of you for having me on. It's always a pleasure. Last time was fun with you, Tommy. I'm happy to be here with Mike and Chrissy and David. They're doing a great job. YouMeAndSicily.com. www.YouMeAndSicily.com. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel, Facebook, and that's it.
And what about if someone wants to go on a trip, travel agency?
www.youmeandsicily.com.
Everything
All
goes
the
to
information. We've got great tours coming up in May, so if you're interested in coming, May and June, actually, one of the East Coast, and then in June of the Palermo area.
We're going to have to wind it up.
Mikey, have a great weekend.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, guys.
Esther, thanks. My best to yourself. Have safe travels back. Tell my brother I send him my love. And to our viewers and listeners, remember, if you can't make fun of yourself, please don't make fun of anyone. I make fun of Mikey once in a while, but
Once in a while. Take care, everybody.
Ciao.
Have a great week. Take care.
Audio Jungle.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.